Hey, what's up musers? This is John at Muse for You, and in today's video tutorial I'm going to go over the June 15th Adobe Muse updates from Adobe Muse and Adobe. June 15th they updated pretty much all of their programs, or quite a few of their programs in the Adobe Creative Cloud, and Adobe Muse was one of them. So I'm going to go over the updates in this video tutorial. And if we go to the release notes for this update, we're going to go to the Adobe Muse product page. We're going to click on see full release notes, and we see we have a few release notes here. The first one is find the perfect photos with Adobe Stock CC, Adobe Typekit integration, blogs, shopping carts, and other widgets, editing hyperlinks using in-browser editing, radio button groups and other contact form enhancements, layer panel enhancements, and native effects panel. And if we click on show all, we also have auto activated lightboxes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 8 new updates in this new release, along with probably bug fixes and making Adobe Muse probably better and things like that. So I'm gonna go over the first one, which is find the perfect photos with Adobe Stock CC. This isn't anything crazy. At least I didn't find it was anything mind-blowing. You can, if you click here, use royalty-free. Okay, and that didn't work, so let's try that again. So I was actually able to access the Adobe Stock photo website. It's stock.adobe.com, and you can search for any photos and illustrations and the like and vectors and download them. You can check out their plans and see how much they charge for the photos, but basically they wanted to showcase that with the new Adobe Muse update. And probably all their updates in general that they now have. They want to showcase more their Adobe Stock photography, illustrations, and vectors. I thought there was more of an integration with Adobe Muse, but I didn't find that to be the case. It's just like going to a stock photo, Adobe Stock Photos, and buying stock photos. Now, the next update that I thought was really great, probably one of my favorite updates, is the Adobe Typekit integration. This now has added a lot more fonts to Adobe Muse. So I have a sample site here, and if I double click here I have a few different fonts from Adobe Typekit, and they're just really interesting fonts, and I can change the font as well. I'm just going to copy, let's say, this middle one here and paste, and I'll change the font here. So if I double click, highlight, and I go to the font menu up here, the font options, I just click down here, and you can see we have a few different symbols. We have the T for Typekit, and we have the W, I believe it's the WF for web font. But if we go down here to where it says add web fonts, we now have Typekit web fonts, Edge web fonts, that's the WF, and the self-hosted web fonts, where you can add your own web fonts. So we can click on Get Started, and here it says thousands of premium web fonts from quality foundries are instantly available to you from within Adobe Muse. So that's pretty awesome. So we'll click Get Started, and we have Typekit up here, Edge web fonts, and self-hosted. So I'm in Typekit, and I just have tons of new fonts, or fonts that I can pick, and it's awesome. And they're really interesting fonts too, and they're web fonts. So for search engines, that's great because they'll be able to know what is written on your website or what content you have on your website. So I'll just pick any font here. Yeah, so we'll do this here, one here called Continuo Web. So I'll click on that, and I'll click OK. And it says one font family was added to the web fonts menu. Click OK. I go to my web fonts, and then I look for that new web font, and it'll be a bit easier to find because it's a Typekit font. So I just look for that T symbol and just click right there, and that's my Continuo web font. All right, pretty awesome. So that was update number 2. Now the next update, I'm going to go over kind of in sequence. Basically, Adobe Muse is just showcasing some really great widgets to add blog features, shopping cart functionality, video background, jot form, kind of contact form widgets or jot form widgets, a photo album carousel, and an audio widget. So these are the 6 main ones that they focus on here in this update. And if you'd like to find more widgets from the Adobe Muse widget library, just click on Library, and here it says find more library items online. So just click on here where it says Online. And here we have the Muse widgets website, where you can look through a bunch of different widgets and search for a particular widget that you might be looking for. Then you can download it and place it, or just download it and install it into your Adobe Muse website. When you download a widget, it's a .mulib file. So I'll just kind of go there. Let's see. Yeah, widgets. Here we go, my widgets folder. And you can just double click on the .mulib file, and Adobe Muse will install it automatically. It says imported one library item. You can view it in design mode in the library panel. So with these next widgets I'm going to preview, you just simply download them, double click to install, or place it first in a folder you'd like, and then double click to install, and Adobe Muse will install it automatically. And then you just go to your library panel here in Adobe Muse and just click on the drop down arrow next to the folder of the name of the widget, and then you have access to the actual widget that is in that folder, that's within that folder, and you just click, hold, and drag, and you can use the widget. All right, very good. And I've downloaded all of these. You can just click on each one of these and download them and use them in your Adobe Muse website. So I've used all of these. I have an example for all of these. So if I go back to my sample site here, we have the audio player widget, and this is it right here. And you can add an MP3, OGG, or a WAV file. And I've added an MP3, so you get an MP3 of your audio file, and you just add it here. You just click there and add the file, and a .ogg file. If you need to convert your MP3 file to .ogg, you can either use Adobe Audition, and then go to File, Save As, and select .ogg. And I'll show you a quick example of that. Just go to audio here. So I'm going to right click, open with Adobe Audition. I'll click OK. Then just go to File, Save As, and then in Adobe Audition where it says Format, just select, where is it? Yeah, EXIF OGG container right there. And that's really helpful because in Firefox, it seems to use OGG more than MP3. I think it's just maybe a Firefox thing, and maybe some other web browsers prefer OGG. But either way, it's good to have that backup in case different users are using different web browsers. So yeah, that's that. And then you can change all the colors of the audio player, which I think is really awesome. Or you can make the background transparent. So if I preview this in the browser and I hit play, and let me just change my audio settings here so we can hear it a little bit. So there's the audio, and I've colored, my volume bar. I can fast forward, or at least I think I can. Okay. Yeah, the fast forward function doesn't seem to be. Okay, it just replays there. Anyways, it's a really cool audio player. You can go ahead and experiment with it, and yeah, add audio to your website. So the next feature or widget is the shopping cart widget. And that's just Shopify. If you have a Shopify account, you can use this widget to add Shopify buttons to your Adobe Muse website, and a Shopify Buy Now button. You just go to shopify.com and start your Shopify account, and then you can integrate your Shopify account with Adobe Muse. That's pretty self-explanatory here. It just has a few options, and once you have a Shopify account, all of these widget options will make sense, and for the Buy Now button as well. All right, so that looks good. And then we have video background. I really like this widget. So if we go to here, I have the sample page. It's just this little square here, but you can add a YouTube video. You can set the volume of the audio. You can hide video, allow video control, hide adverts, use HD when possible, and loop video. So if I hit Command-Shift-E, I've added a video from my YouTube channel, and it's great. It's fully responsive, and it's just really cool, and you can add other elements over this video. So you can have like a really cool background video on your YouTube channel or on YouTube and place it as a background for your website. All right, looks good. And yeah, and then you can allow video control and just a few other options there. So again, yeah, there's that video background. So very nice. And the controls disappear after a moment, which is nice. All right, so that looks good. And yeah. And then we have Jotform widget. For those of you who use Jotform, I might make another video on using Jotform. I don't quite use it myself, but it is a cool kind of form that you can use. So here's the Jotform widget, and you just simply select it from your, all of these widgets are in your library panel when you install them, and you just click, hold, and drag and place them onto your Adobe Muse website. So I've selected the Jotform widget and installed it. So the Jotform, the widget options are, you enter your Jotform ID, and basically if we go to jotform.com, .com here, you create your Jotform in here, and then you can link it to your Adobe Muse website and have this really kind of pretty amazing contact form. You can add survey tools, payment tools, widgets, quick tools, and just, it's a really kind of advanced form that you can add to your website. I might make another video on this because I think it might be helpful for some web designers or web developers who need kind of a more integrated and more kind of advanced and functional form that does a few more things than just inputting your name and email and message. So all right, so that's that. And the next one is Photo Album Carousel. It's just this really interesting carousel. Actually, that's not it. Let's see, right here. So if I hit Command-Shift-E, and I can preview the carousel, it's just a image carousel. But yeah, Muse decided to showcase this for the new update, so I'm showing it here. And you can just go to the widget up here, this image icon, and add your images here. Just click here and then select your images, and it has 7 images you can add. And there's a mobile device mode that you can kind of check out there. And then you can style these buttons here. You can change the color and change the text as well. So I can change the text here to that, and let's change it again to that. Very good. Yeah, and then if I preview in the browser, we can see the text here and click on next and change the images. All right, very good. And the other widget, I already went over it. I went over the audio widget. The next widget that I didn't go over is the blog feed. And this is pretty interesting. It's an RSS blog feed. So if I go to this page here, and basically I'll delete this one. And then I go to my library panel, and then I click on RSS Blog and I place it in, and we have it here. And basically the way this blog works is that you grab the RSS feed from any blog that you're interested in, or your own personal blog, and you just place the RSS feed URL into here, and then it'll give you a feed of all of the blog articles in that blog. And then you have a few options here. You can change image width. You can give the feed an ID, number of posts, space between each item, content options, show content, link content, use snippets, show media. You can set the title tag, the H3 heading to H1 through H6, or paragraph tag. You can change the date and sort options, and you can use ticker options here as well. I'm not quite sure what the ticker options are, but you can experiment with that. So basically it's just a really cool way to add a blog to your Adobe Muse website. You do need the RSS feed link. So if you do have a blog, just, it's probably like, the domain of your blog -RSS. And you can do a little bit more research on RSS if you're not too familiar with it. But yeah, I might make another video on blogs here. All right, so that's another update in the June 2015 update. And here in editing hyperlinks using in-browser editing, this is just, you can now change hyperlinks. Like if you designed a website for someone and you want them to be able to edit the content on their website, you can use in-browser editing, and now they can change the hyperlinks as well. Okay, and we have here radio button groups and other contact form enhancements. So if I go in here to blank page, I go to object, insert widget, and I go to Form, Simple Contact, and I place that in. Now here we have single line text. I think we had that before, but now we have checkbox, we have radio button group, and we have, we did have multi-line text before, and we have checkbox group. So now we can add radio buttons to our contact form, checkboxes, and a checkbox group to our contact form. Really interesting. If I preview this in the browser, I can click the radio buttons and I can check off the checkboxes. Pretty cool. And when you receive the email, you'll most likely get the option that was checked and when you receive the email. But yeah, just experiment with that, and when you get the email, you'll know how you received that information. I haven't quite tested it yet, but I'm sure it's great. All right, so that's the other update, and let's see the other update. Layer panel enhancement. So if we go to the layers panel, we can rename the form. We can say like form 1, and you can just rename everything in the layers panel so that you can be maybe a little bit more organized when you're designing your website. I can rename any layer item in here, and audio to anything. Yeah, I can just rename the layer items in there. So yeah, and when you import from Photoshop, the Photoshop buttons and images, the layer comp names match those in Photoshop, and you can expand, collapse layers and layer groups. You can rename shapes, layers, and other objects in the layer panel. And the native effects panel, I actually didn't find too much different in the effects panel, which is right up here in the toolbar. I think they just added maybe a few more options here, but I don't think they did. So to me, I didn't really find much that's changed in the effects panel. Maybe I didn't look in the right place, but I didn't find anything too different there. And the last update is the auto-activated light boxes. Now this is pretty cool. If you've ever been to a website where you go to the website and the first thing you see is like a light box or kind of like an image display right away on the website, and then you have to exit out, you can now kind of do a similar effect in Adobe Muse. So I have this Lightbox page here, and I just I went to Object, Insert Widget, Slideshow, and I did a Lightbox slideshow, and that's it right here. So I've added 4 images, and if we preview this, hold on, let me just uncheck it. If we hit Command-Shift-E to preview this, and we click on the images, we see the Lightbox. We click on those thumbnails up here, the Lightbox shows up. But if we want the Lightbox to show up immediately when the user goes to the page, we simply click on the slideshow here and click on the slideshow options, and then we can click on Auto Lightbox. So I'll just check off Auto Lightbox, and now if I hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, the Lightbox appears right away, and I can go through the Lightbox, or I can go out and come back in. But yeah, the Lightbox appears right away. So if you want a page where you're showcasing something, you can do that, and I can change the Lightbox color to be none, so it almost looks like it's just a pop-up on the page, like right there, and then the person can click out, and you can put like an X symbol, I think, somewhere. Yeah, you can put the close button. So if we Command-Shift-E, there's the close button, and it looks just like something came up on the screen, and you can style it to look really nice, and then the user can just click the X button. Yeah, the X button right here, and close the that Lightbox. All right, very good. So I think that's pretty much it for the June 2015 updates. This update came out June 15th, 2015. And yeah, it has a lot of cool updates to help with your web design and development in Adobe Muse. Adobe Muse also, Adobe also came out with a lot of new updates for the other Creative Cloud products. If you'd like to take a look at Creative Cloud, just go to museforyoushop.com. If I can type that, Muse for You Shop, and then click download Adobe Muse CC. It'll take you to the Creative Cloud page where you can see what's new and the different programs that you can get with the Creative Cloud. It's a really great bundle. I used the complete bundle where I get access to all of Adobe's products, and it's just great because I get to use Photoshop, Illustrator, Edge Animate, After Effects, and Adobe Muse, and there's other programs here, Adobe Audition, just a lot of cool programs. So that's it for the 2015 update. If you like this video, please subscribe below and check out museforyoushop.com. There's a lot of resources there to help with your web design and development. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial.